The Ramblings of a Woman Obsessed with Restoring the Balance. The Hut, Chapter 4. His Story. Long ago, when time was not measured by manufactured means, the moon would hide away for days at a time and take the women and most of the tribe with it. The first community where it all began, on those dark nights when the earth tipped back to welcome the change of winds, the men grouped around a fire against the cold. In those hours of keeping watch, their loneliness soured into resentment. "What do you think they're doing up there?" Earl asked, like he always did. He didn't wait until the fourth night. No, this time his complaints came early, fueling a fire that alone was keeping him warm. "I mean, they could be doing anything up there, talking about us right now." "Now, Earl, you know you're always welcome at the hut. Probably best to wait till morning in your state, but if it's eating at you, just go up there, see for yourself, air your grievances," said his older brother. "Not a chance." Earl stood and pulled the pelt over his shoulder, tighter at his throat. "That is no place for a man." He stepped out of the circle beyond the reach of the glowing flame. In the shadows, he kicked at the dirt as the men passed the pipe around in silence. "What makes them so special?" he muttered. When no one answered, he asked again. "What makes them so special?" Blank faces stared at the fire. Earl leapt into the circle again and pressed his face into the newest member's face. "What makes them so special, huh?" The boy started and his eyes grew huge and unblinking. "What about us? We have stuff to talk about. We do stuff. Or we used to before they took away the mammoth hunt. But we have adventures, right, Carl?" Earl spun around nose to nose with the next man in the circle. "Like, what about that time you jumped off the cliff and landed right on the back of a mammoth?" "Yeah, no, I fell. It had just rained and the earth gave way, and it doesn't matter. We need to start telling our stories our way, making out tales about who we are, what we do, and make them great." He looked around at the flat group. "Right now," he straightened and pointed at the hut and bellowed. "It is all about them. Women and mother." Within his dramatic pause, he inhaled deeply. "What about us? What about the father? We could tell great tales about strength and skill and the father and his greatness." "Yeah, but my dad was a piece of work," came a voice from the other side of the circle. "Yeah, mine too." Echoes of agreement and nods filled the space, and Earl grew irritated. "Fine then, not our fathers." His arms opened, and the brilliance of the firelight cast his face in an orange glow. What if it were one Father, all-knowing, almighty Father? Arms still wide, Earl's idea filled his chest, and as he exhaled, it took shape within his words. The Father of everything. The concept had a life of its own, and as the eyes lifted to meet his and tongues poked out and some shifted in their seats, "Everyone's father," he said once he had the attention he had been aiming for all along. That's not right. Earl, that would mean that we all have the same father." "No, thanks." "What do you mean? We are all practically brothers and cousins anyways." "Sure, but my wife is not my sister, nor is my mother. Gross. And there would be no life without mother." "Ugh!" Earl scoffed. "The mother again. Do you hear yourself? She is not everything. We could be. He could be." Earl pointed up, and all eyes went skyward. "All right, so the first of our tales will make everyone turn on women. Let's blame them for something unforgivable." "Like the weather?" the youngest member asked. "No, that's Old Man Winter," another said. Earl waved his hands. "No, no, no. We blame Mother Nature for a lot of things, and it doesn't take She is still loved, and when it is her fault, it never spills over on the women folk. This has to be something we all hate. Stoned faces stared back at him. Okay, we all fear. Death, his brother said. Earl snapped his fingers and pointed at Ed. I like it. Death. Yes. Let's blame them for death. They will be hated forever. Oh, this is good. She is the reason we die, and nothing she does will ever make up for it. My brother, thank you. This is perfect. We will create his story, and the first bit will knock women back a peg. You don't think it's in contrast of the fact that they create life? Not if you say stuff like that. Okay, here it is. The Father created life. Earl nodded at the group in turn. And women cause our death. You think it'll work? The youngest asked with darting bright eyes, eager to spin the tale. I do, Earl said, sitting beside him. Son, I really do. This will be history, and we will shape the world the way we want it for ourselves. The gathering around the circle grew tighter around the clan of men who looked very much alike. The history they created would eventually shape society as we know it and trigger the ultimate demise of mankind.